Hey Raghunath, tell everyone about our Patreon community.
Sure, Kastuba. The Wisdom of the Sages Patreon community is an incredible online yoga resource. If you like the type of yoga wisdom and culture we share on the show, then our Patreon community is a great next step. This is a listener-supported podcast, and any level of sponsorship will unlock a wide range of live and archived classes, talks, and even workshops.
Raghunath teaches, I teach, and we have a host of other excellent teachers on topics ranging from yoga philosophy, asana classes, storytelling, Ayurveda, kirtan, cooking, meditation, and a lot more.
We even have an incredible online Bhakti 12-step recovery group.
So if you want to check it out, go to patreon.com/wisdom of the sages.
All right, let's get it on.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Live from India in Goa at Palolem Beach. This is Wisdom of the Sages, a daily yoga podcast with your host Raghunath and co-host and senior educator at the Bhakti Center in New York, Kaustubh Das, who's also live from South India in Varkala. Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to India. We had everybody in India. They all went home, except for me, you, Kelly Skinner, the bright light. We got a secret announcement about Kelly Skinner and Jiva Life Coaching, and I think we're ready to blow the lid off this. Those guys are doing their own podcast. They're doing a Bhakti Recovery. What's it called? The Bhakti Recovery Revolution podcast. It's sort of like glitter and gutter. That's what we're calling it, glitter and gutter, because Jiva's had such a crazy life, up and down, and then you got sort of like our good friend Bright Light, who suffers from other non-substance issues she's working through with the help of Bhakti Recovery Group. And these two are such opposites. I thought they were going to even kill each other or become best friends. And they're best friends. They're best friends. I can't wait to hear it. Okay. Can't hear Mr. Kaustubh. Are you there, Kaustubh? Okay.
I'm here,
Okay,
but I got a terrible connection right now.
Okay. Gotcha. All right, man. Well, everything up. You want to share anything, Kaustubh? Life is good there, and it's got a bad connection.
Life is good. I can you hear me?
Now I can.
Okay, so I was talking about going to the Padmanabh Trivandrum today, but actually I'm going to go tomorrow.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So we'll report from there. Yeah, then I'll do the show from down there in a hotel room, because I leave early the next morning. But let's do that Mukunda Mala Stotra tomorrow for the show.
Okay. We were going to go, because I finished my book. I was going to be like, you know what? Maybe me and Mara should take off and go to Hampi, because I always wanted to go to Hampi. Hampi, if you don't know, it's these incredible ancient places in India. They say it'd be as big as, Cairo and the pyramids if there was a good way to get there. But it's like, right, even from here, there's like an 8-hour train trip. And you know what? I never just relax. And I'm just decided, you know what? I'm just going to work on chanting my rounds. Started my next book. And just going to take it easy.
There you go.
But we have this desire to go to Hampi. Just ancient temples.
That's what you got to do.
Just
right?
I know. My whole life you've been telling me to slow down. My whole life I've been not listening to you.
Slow down.
Oh, Kaustubh, I can't hear him very
Shani is going to do it to you, Raghunath. So either you do it voluntarily or Shani will slow you down.
Are you praying to Shani to slow me down?
I'm not praying. I'm just saying Shani will do it.
Shani will do it.
In your Saturn period, forget about it.
Shani's doing it. You know where I'm living right now? I'm living on the Serenity Prayer. I'm going through some shifts in life right now, Kaustubh. I'm going to keep them private for now, but some stuff shifting up. And you got to know that prayer really captures the mood of the devotee, which is, how much do I have to accept and how much do I have to push? And what's the balance between the two? I don't want to just roll over and lay on my back and, I give up to this world. How much should I go forward in service of God? And how much should I just accept this is God's plan? And there's something very beautiful when you can just fully accept, you know what? This is how God wants it. It's like a relief. But then you can't be lazy with that as well. So I have every reason right now to be in extreme anxiety, and I'm just turning it over to God. And it feels good. I feel good. It's like and chanting japa really helps. Just chanting and saying, Krishna, I've got no problems. They're your problems, Krishna. You're going to have to figure out this because I'm your surrendered servant. It's just like the child has to he lays it on the mom. Mom, I'm hungry. You got to figure out when to feed me. Mom takes care of the kid. That's how I feel right now in Krishna's hands.
It's wonderful, Raghunath.
Krishna likes to keep me a little desperate. It's beautiful. It's actually beautiful. It's Mara, any highlights of today you want to share outside the knitting excitement?
Well, I was gonna make some announcements if you'd like. We have a back to recovery group meetings today. The men meet at 1 o'clock, the women meet at 2 o'clock. There's an asana class with Ariel Castillo for our Patreon members today at 10 a.m.
We call her Radha Dasi now.
Radha Dasi. Sorry, it takes me a minute to remember that one. And also, I could be wrong, but I believe today is a special day. I believe today is Gita Priya's birthday. Is that right, Kastuba? Oh, did we lose him?
Right.
Shut down.
That's correct. Yeah, I've been celebrating over here.
Wow.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Gita Priya. Is she our age too? Are we allowed to say that? Are we allowed to say ages of ladies?
She's one year younger.
1 year younger.
1 year younger. Yeah, I'm wondering, maybe we need people to turn off their videos because I got a really weak connection.
Weak connection today. We get it. It's India connection. Sorry, guys. We love looking at your beautiful faces. We're in a great place in the Bhagavatam, the teachings of Lord Rishabhadev. He's teaching his 100 kids. I'm thinking about writing a letter to each one of my kids in case I die. If you talk to them now and try to give them something important now, they might not just listen. But if you write it down, instructions for my kids when I die, like the most important things I've learned in this life. Think that's a good idea?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, Mara says yes.
Let's hear him.
I have to think of what's important. It would be like a little booklet.
What have you learned? Okay.
It'd be like a little booklet.
Sounds great.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Okay. All right, my friend. You ready to dive in the Srimad Bhagavatam?
Yeah.
Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narotamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam madirayat. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances to the Supreme Lord Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, to Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and to Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta prayeshva bhadreshu nityam bhagavat sevaya bhagavati sloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. By regular attendance in classes in the Bhagavatam and by rendering service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart will become eradicated, and loving service to the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, will be established as an irrevocable fact. Om Jnana Timarandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chaksurun Madatam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance. My teachers are opening my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my obeisances at their lotus feet.
Reading from Canto 5, Chapter 5, Text 2. I think
we hadn't finished this text.
We didn't finish Text 2. It
By
was
the
good
way,
stuff.
You know what I should share, Raghunath?
What do you got? Secret stuff?
Is that can you hear me well?
Yep.
Well, no, just that I made we put together a TikTok and Instagram reel, based on yesterday's show, where we got into talking a lot about like how men objectify women, about pornography, about sex, and these different things, and how yogis view it, and how yogis discipline themselves. And it's like I think it's about a 2.5-minute video, but it's got a lot of clips. And if people want to share that, I think this is a good way to set us off on TikTok. Please share it. Share it on TikTok. Find us on TikTok,
or share it if you're not on TikTok. Share it on Instagram. Yeah, share it on Instagram. Put it on your story. Tag us. That's important stuff. This is how this is the modern way of really just spreading the message.
Yeah.
Especially something like that. That's a dark well. A lot of men have a very difficult time climbing out of.
That's my point.
We can take it there if you want. We can take it right back there where we left off yesterday.
Well, we were in that verse yesterday, right? So maybe we just got to start to read it again.
All right.
And
see where it takes us.
Definitely more to talk about. There's definitely more to talk about.
Text 2. Let's do that again. One can attain the path of liberation from material bondage only by rendering service to highly advanced spiritual personalities. These personalities are impersonalists or devotees. Whether one wants to merge into the Lord's existence, right, that's the impersonalist, or wants to associate with the personality of Godhead, that's the bhaktas, one should render service to the mahatmas. For those who are not interested in such activities, right, you don't want to do that. You don't want to transcend your body and mind. For those who are not interested in such activities, who associate with people who are fond of women and sex. That means we are only talking about the basest desires. It's like below locker room talk. The path to hell is wide open. And we were saying yesterday, I hate that word hell. Yeah, we create hell. Don't be scared of the word hell because you have some issue with Christianity. Hell is when life is miserable and you create it on earth with your behavior. It's safe to say we've all lived in hell at one point or another. The mahatmas, though, they're equipoised. They do not see any difference between one living entity and another. They are very peaceful and they are fully engaged in devotional service. They are devoid of anger and they work for the benefit of everyone. They do not behave in any abominable way. Such people are known as mahatmas. I think it's good to say, Kastubaji, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi. So it's like they're just because they see everybody equally, it doesn't mean they don't make distinctions. They're accepting that everybody's a pure spirit soul, and they're just entrapped by the gunas in some way. They're entrapped by sattva, they're entrapped by rajas, they're entrapped by passion, or like the 3 primary colors make all the colors. There's some sort of blend of all of them that are sort of like becoming the puppet master of the bodies and minds of the spirit soul, manipulating the body and the minds of the entrapped spirit soul. So what they're seeing is they will see differences. It's not like they're walking around aloof to that. There's a difference, but they understand underneath it all, there's something quite beautiful. And what they do is they beeline in on what people are, and they sort of fan that flame. And that's how we are trained to act to people who are covered by the gunas. And in that process, we become uncovered by the gunas. We are not saying, oh, look at that jerk. Look how they're behaving. I can't believe she said that. I can't believe he's saying that to me. Let me tell them, I'm going to put them in their place. No, overlooking that stuff. We don't take offense. We go right deep into what they are and speak to them on that highest level. And it allows a person to step out of their previous incarnation by seeing that good and fanning that good.
I like it. Again, it's interesting that you mentioned what you said today, Raghunath, about writing something for your kids, like writing a letter.
Yeah.
Because in a sense, that's exactly what's happening in this chapter, is that Rishabhdev's not about to die, but he's about to walk off into the forest forever, and he's leaving his sons behind. Right?
Well, that's where I got the idea from, Rishabhdev.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah. You thought I just randomly came up with that?
So he's walking off. I did, yeah. Maybe you were cutting out on me and I didn't make the connection. But so he began by saying, look, human life is something very special. Don't be like callous in life and miss out on the importance of that fact. Don't think that the fact that you're in a human body right now is just par for the course, no big deal. No, think about it. Look around yourself and think about just what a rare opportunity you have right now. And he said, and use it to perform penance and austerity to reach the divine. Like that's That's the opportunity that you have. But in the next text, the text that we're reading right now, text 2, you know, when he's talking about penance and austerity, the first place he goes, he doesn't say go up and fast, do long fasts and sit in the mountains all alone, you know, and tolerate the cold rivers and the, you know, what he said was serve great people, right? Find some really great people and serve them. Let that be your penance. Let that be your austerity in life. That was an interesting, you know, way that he fluffed that out there, you know.
Yeah,
I thought.
I like that.
And then he said that that idea, serving the great soul, serving the mahatmas, he said that's the dwara to vimukti. That's the gate to liberation. He said there's another gate too. There's a dark gate. What was it? Tamadwara, you know, gate of darkness. Which he said, you know, he just boiled it right down to, you know what? When you're associating with men that are just like their goal in life is to exploit women sexually, that's going to just lead you in an entirely opposite direction. You know, this is where you need to really. This is where a smart guy gets his head screwed on straight and figures this out. Right? And then he said kind of what you said, that he said that what are these great souls like? You know, like, define them for us. Okay, I'll define them for you. He said they have this samachitta, right? They have this a mind that can see the soul, that see what's the same in all of us. The sama, right? Samachitta. They can see what's the same. Our bodies are all different. Our circumstances are all different. But the great souls, they can see what's the same in everyone, and they're able to operate in awareness of that. That's the kind of person you want to connect with, right? That's the kind of person you want to serve, get behind.
Yeah, it's not. We're not oblivious and saying everyone's the same. Everyone's the same. You can't just whitewash everybody to be the exact same. We're all different. We're uniquely different. That's okay. But underneath it is a pure spirit, and that's important. Another thing to be said is, you know, we're not letting women off the hook here. Women have their own issues, but a real problem in man bodies. There are differences between the body types. Big deal.
Are there?
It's not like are there? Yes, there are. Okay. Yeah, there are. Well, people are trying to find equality by whitewashing and saying, no, we're all the same. Right. We're not all the same. Men have men issues, and their issues generally come from the belly down. And women women got their own issues, generally in the heart and the head somewhere. But if a man can't overcome these lower passions in their lifetime, they suffer tremendously. They remain little boys, and it's hard for them to have intimacy in their life. Yeah, and they live in a really superficial place. And I get it. You get that when you're 16 and you're 17. If we can't get over these issues, men out there listening to this podcast, you got to do something serious about it. You got to find people who can help you get out of that. And if you've already tripped down that flight of stairs into pornography, you have to take that very seriously.
Climb back up. Yeah.
That you got to climb back up with the help of friends or whatever it takes, and you got to you got to lock that door. You can't go down those stairs ever again. It just has to be like that. If you're listening to the show, that door's locked. You're just not going to go there.
And your life's going to be a lot better. You're going to be a better person.
Your life's going to be a lot better. And if you have spiritual aspirations, that's going to create a very, very low ceiling for you to go. You can have every other accoutrement for spiritual evolution, but if you can't get out of your lower chakras and your lower passions, you're going to have your angel wings nailed to the ground. You like that? Angel wings nailed. Oh, man.
Yeah, you know, I like what you're saying. I think you know what you're gonna have. You're gonna be one of those old guys sitting on to play with a lot of regrets how you treated people, regrets how you treated people that were important. Like you say, you know, it screws up your ability to be intimate with someone, you know, in an honest way, in a pure way. And, you know, it'll break up marriages, you know, it'll affect your relationship with your children and with other people, particularly with women. And so what he's saying, so this is great. He's saying something similar to what you were saying. What Rishabdev is saying is here. He's saying, find great souls. You know, that's the bright door. That's the door to liberation. let me define what they're like. There's samachitta. They're relating to people based on what's the same in all of us, with the soul. And therefore, and he lists 3 more things, what you can look for to recognize great soul. He says they're prashanta, right? Prashanta. They're very peaceful and satisfied. Right? You're not going to be peaceful and satisfied unless you're working to see people on that equal level, right? He says they're vimanyavaha. They're without anger, right? And he says they're suhridaha. They're the well-wisher of everyone. That's what we're looking for. And I think that what you're saying is it's a fact that the porn, it's obviously like one major modern thing that's just swung out of nowhere and just killing men.
It swung out of nowhere,
right?
Yeah, I mean, it was always there, but it stayed on on the back of the candy store bookshelves, way up high, so you couldn't reach it, or behind the counters. Now it's just like on your iPhone. It's in your pocket. It's in your teenager's pocket. And, we have some good men on the show writing in on the chat board right now. They're good men. They're good men, but they realize there is these demons, these loud demons within us that are pulling them. And I think males especially, they really fall into this category, and we have to do whatever we can to safeguard us from this, because our japa is going to be affected. All of our spiritual practices will be affected by this.
Our relationships, our spiritual practices, the whole thing.
Yeah.
And so it's saying here, you practice that. In other words, and it means you practice not doing the things like that we were talking about yesterday, not seeing people based on their bodies, not objectifying women in particular. And then you can have a more peaceful, satisfied mind, prashanta, and you're without anger. In other words, that those attitudes, it's only the person with the peaceful mind, it's only that can let go of anger, and actually have deeper relationships with people and go deeper into the spiritual practice and become the suhrida, not the exploiter of every living entity, the real friend, the true friend, a true friend of men, a true friend of women.
This also goes to this concept within Buddhism that desire causes pain. So whenever there's kama or desire in the mind, and what is that? That is lust. Like, for example, she is beautiful. How can I enjoy her? Whenever there is that desire, you cannot be peaceful. It's because it's not enjoyment. It's a hope to enjoy. And that's and it never ends. It's like pouring oil on the fire. What happens when you pour oil on the fire? The fire goes down, and then it gets even higher. You cannot satisfy lust. This is not just like a Hindu's warning you about this. Every major spiritual truth will warn you about pouring oil on the fire. It flames those desires, and we can't get any higher. We like that. I turned it right into a song there.
Higher and higher.
It might, but it's true. The kama will not let us be peaceful, and so it's amazing because we tend to think like, wow, check her out, check her out, check her out. It's all exciting. That excitement means no peace. It robs us of peace. And in Sattvic cultures, that's not there. That's not there. There's not. And that's why even in India today, even as so-called progressive, it's actually regressive. The way India is. Me, Mare, and Kelly are going for a walk on the Marine Drive, and everyone's just hanging out on Marine Drive on a Saturday, Sunday night in the summer, looking at the sea. But generally, it's like built into their culture is the girls hang out together and the guys hang out together. It's just like there's not a lot of boyfriend and girlfriend action you see. I'm not asking everybody to turn to that, but usually when there's dating going on, there's a dead serious commitment. Like, I don't think when I dated women when I was young, there was not like, okay, we're going to get married, right? There's not a dead serious commitment. You're sort of like playing around. You're just playing around. That's part of our culture. And because of it, I'm not even condemning it. But when you do that, then you have to suffer all the things that go with that, which is I've been engaged to this guy for like 8 years and he won't pull the trigger, or vice versa. This girl for 8 years, or I got pregnant, honey. What do you want to do? Oh, you're kidding. Oh, like, wow. Or, these are typical American problems that we go through. And I'm no psychiatrist. Obviously, I know you think I'm a part-time psychiatrist, part-time botanist, part-time. What else do I do? Numismatic. Now, I'm no psychologist, but I think it's probably safe to say having numbers and numbers of partners will lead to depression. What do you think about that? You're not that you're a psychiatrist either.
No doubt.
I think so. Will lead to depression.
I confirm your analysis, doctor.
Me also not being qualified in anything whatsoever. Will also.
Okay.
Oh God.
Text number 3.
I'm amazed that people even listen to me. I'm amazed that I turn it on today. There's like 101 people on the show today. I was like, I can't believe people are tuning in. All right.
Yeah.
But they're here. All right. Shall we continue?
Text number 3. Yeah, text number 3. Now I think he's going to describe more about what those mahatmas are like. He said in the previous verse, he said there's 2 kinds of like sadhus like this, right? Some are personalists and some are impersonalists, right? They're both there.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to begin to describe the personalists more in this text.
Dan Murphy from Philly says, you need a separate podcast just for this topic alone.
It's true. Yeah, I remember. You know what? I'll tell you something. I remember something, Raghu. If you remember this going back, but before we called this Wisdom of the Sages, when it was Super Soul Sacred Sangha, we did that for some months, right? I remember this topic of sexuality came up, and we had like 2 days straight on it, and it was a big thing. I remember it kind of gave us a lot of momentum going into that because it's such an important topic to so many people.
I still have some of those recorded. We could dig them out.
Yeah, it would be interesting to go back and hear those.
Ripping into it.
Strip down, talk about sex.
Strip down, talk about sex. All right, let's get into text 3. Ready? Those who are interested in reviving their Krishna consciousness and increasing their love of Godhead, right? You can do it.
Now he's talking about the personalist, right?
Right. Do not like to do anything that is not related to Krishna. That sounds so fanatical. It's not.
Well, everything is
fanatical.
I just want to recognize it in everything I do.
That's like saying, oh, the fish. He doesn't like to do anything outside of water. Yeah, of course he doesn't. He's a fish. We're spiritual beings. Of course we don't want to do things outside of Krishna. They're not interested in mingling with people who are busy maintaining their bodies, eating, sleeping, mating, and defending.
Yeah, in other words, that becomes your whole thing, right?
Yeah, I just want to like...
They want to connect with people that are into something deeper than that, deeper than just what the animals are also doing.
Yeah. We're not just trying to fill up our time till we die. Let's find a comfortable situation till we die. You know, that tends to be the pendulum I see with people. They work their ass off. They get really wrapped up into work, and their master, instead of serving the Mahatmas, they're serving some nutty boss who's getting rich off their labor. And the opposite is, you know what? I'm sick of working so hard like a mule. I'm going to do nothing. I'm going to cash out, and I'm just going to surf, or, you know, I'm here in Goa. It's like the land of expats, just like, I'm just going to open the cafe. And all the, in Goa, even though that's a thing, and I get it, perhaps it's better than working your ass off. Maybe not. We're saying, no. It's neither of those things. It's you have a propensity to works hard towards serving great souls. And what happens when you work towards serving great souls? Hey, we were just at the Bhaktivedanta at the hospital. Those are a bunch of doctors. They've done all the work to become doctors, but they're using it all to serve a divine mission. It's not just like they're there to get paid. They could probably get paid much more doing something else, being a doctor at another, medical facility. But they want to be part of something bigger. And I think that's important. I think that's important in the Bhakti thing, is Bhakti community. We want to do our work. That's okay to work. Working's just like my dog. He likes to play fetch. That's what he does. He will get bored if you don't throw that ball. We all have some propensity like that dog has, and we're all good at stuff. How can we do that now in a way that uplifts the world, or uplifts society, and uplifts ourselves at the same time?
Yeah.
Shall I continue?
Please.
Okay, so they're not interested in those things: eating, sleeping, mating, defending. They are not attached to their homes, although they may be householders. That's a huge one.
Mm-hmm.
Going through this thing right now, Kaustubha, and my prayer is, Krishna, whatever you want. Whatever you want. You know what I mean? That's the prayer.
There's a chance you may have to give up your home, you're thinking.
There might be a chance. I have to give up my home. And I'm really, and Krishna's keeping me in a beautiful way. Krishna's keeping me incredibly dependent on him, because it makes you think of, Because it makes you think. First, you can get really frustrated. You get really depressed, and my kids grew up here, and then it's sort of like, you know what, Krishna, I'm going to try my best because I think it's a good thing, and I think that you want it. I consult with saintly people that are giving me advice, and then I'm saying, you know what, and I'm ready for a massive plan B. But I don't want to roll over and play dead. And I don't want to fight for something I'm not supposed to have. So there's a beautiful balance. And once you can get past that, thinking like I'm in total control of this, or I just give up, because we don't want to do that either, then you can experience like this freedom, like, oh, I'm not in control. I turn my, what is it? Turn my will over. Where's Jiva G when you need her? Put it on the board, somebody. Step 3. Turn your will over to Krishna, as you understand Krishna. Turn your will and anyway, no one's writing it. Turn my will and life over to Krishna, and that's what it is. And it's so freeing, that acceptance that this is in Krishna's hands. It is so freeing.
Nice.
Otherwise, it's just nothing but anxiety in the material world.
Well, the balance that you're talking about striking is, you're talking like a Rishabdeva here, because he's going to get into this too. He's going to say, he's saying that these are people that are not attached to their homes and even their families. Now, but he also makes a point, but they're not indifferent to the execution of their duties. In other words, they don't see their families, their family members as like the sources of their happiness. It doesn't mean that they don't have deep affection, care for them. But it means that I know my happiness is not dependent. I don't have to suck my happiness out of these people, right?
Made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of Krishna as we understand him. Boom. Krishna will handle it. Yeah. There's that incredible story about Srivas Thakur. They're actually having a kirtan in the house, and his son dies. And Lord Chaitanya's like, what are you doing? Your son just died. He goes, yes, he died. Just keep the kirtan going. He's already dead. What can I do? He's dead. The best thing we could do for him is just to keep this kirtan going.
Yeah.
The best thing we can all do.
I'm going to go visit there soon.
I know. The best thing we can all do is keep the kirtan going, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's keep this going. Raghunath, finish this first.
Keep this kirtan going, sir. They are not attached to their homes, although they may be householders, nor are they attached to their wives and children and friends and wealth. At the same time, they are not indifferent to the execution of their duties. Such people are interested in collecting only enough money to keep their body and soul together. Right.
Yeah. They're not searching for happiness through money. They're not searching for their happiness through family. They're not searching for their happiness through comforts of home. They are going within to find the deeper, more meaningful happiness, and they're super responsible and affectionate in all their dealings, externally.
That's beautiful. Yeah. As long as one does not inquire about the spiritual what? Oh, text 4.
Text 4.
When a person considers sense gratification the aim of life, watch out. He certainly becomes mad after materialistic living and engages in all kinds of sinful activities.
Adharmic.
Right. That is materialism. It's me first. How can I satisfy my desires first? And that's a problem. If you're trying to satisfy your desires, she's trying to satisfy her desires. It's a very selfish world. He does not know that due to his past misdeeds, he's already received a body, which, although temporary, is the cause of the misery. Mm-hmm. Actually, the living entity should not have taken on a material body, but he had been awarded the material body for sense gratification. Therefore, I think it is not befitting an intelligent man to involve themselves again in the activities of sense gratification, by which he perpetually gets material bodies one after another. See, most people don't even get this. They don't even get that my desires are not just they're not fulfillable. The fish's desires outside the water are unfulfillable. They're unfulfillable. So therefore, most people are just walking around just out of the water trying to satisfy themselves. No, first you got to get back in the water. Then, because not only is it unfulfillable, but it means you're going to have to take another body again. You're going to have to play this whole game again. Come back in the water.
That's right.
Jump in the
Back in.
water.
There's a hashtag.
Jump in the
Get
water.
back in the water.
There's a hashtag. Get back in
Now,
the water.
Prabhupada shares a little something like this. You know, I mentioned yesterday he was writing like his heart was bleeding a little bit for the people, you know, for the people.
Yeah.
And this is a little bit like that too from the commentary. He says, the living entity, right, the souls, all of us, he says the living entity is not really connected to this material world. You know, it's our connection here is artificial. It's in a sense unreal. It's temporary. It's not. There's no satisfying connection where we derive the energy that we need from the things of this world, right? The energy that we need for our full happiness and our full satisfaction, for the complete satisfaction of the soul, it's not coming through the material energy, no matter how much we're trying to pull it out of it. So he says the living entity is not really connected to this material world, but due to their tendency to enjoy the material senses, they're put into the material condition, right? Because we want to bifurcate dissect ourselves from Krishna, we get this body to try to enjoy things. He says one should perfect their life by associating with devotees. They should not become further implicated in the material body. It's simple, but so profound.
It's amazing that advertisers will use this simple trick to sell things that we don't need. You can be four-wheeling it through the deserts of Dubai. Like, yeah, why aren't I going through the deserts of Dubai? You know, it's like anything.
That's what I need to be happy.
That's how I'm going to be happy. We need to put that on our bucket list. It's a bucket list and a bucket list and check that and check that. No, it's going nowhere, that bucket list. You know, and it's like we have to take it to new extremes. You want to ski, cross-country ski, that's fun. Now you want to go downhill skiing, that's fun. Now you ever see what people are doing on skis? They're doing like flip and flip and flip. And they're like, I made it. There's only so many times before you break your neck doing these things. People are taking things to newer and newer extremes. It's like drugs. I took a hit of acid, and now I'm going to take 2 hits. Now I'm going to take 5 hits. And I'm just going to see where this guts me. There's no end to it because sense gratification doesn't end. You have to go, it gets stale, and you have to stick 2 pieces of gum in your mouth to get the same hit as that 1 piece. It's just, it's never ending. The fire never goes out. Pouring the gas on just makes it inflame. Hello.
It's a burning ring of fire.
It's a burning ring of fire. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Do I sound like a bitter old man? A bitter old man?
No. I like where you're coming from today.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Text 5. Thank you, Mayor. Keeping it rolling. Yeah, I was trying to read the message board. You know what? The messages are important. You join our live Zoom, and I will read your messages. Text 5. As long as one does not inquire about the spiritual values of life, one is defeated and subjected to the miseries arising from ignorance. Right? We think ignorance is bliss. Wrong. Ignorance is not bliss, not by a long shot. Right? You don't even know when someone's trying to help you. That's what ignorance is. You know, there's a deer on your front lawn. You want to help the deer. It's got caught in the fence. You want to help it. It's freaking out. Ignorance is not bliss. As long as one does not inquire about the spiritual values of life, one is defeated and subject to the miseries arising from ignorance. Be it sinful or pious, karma is the resultant actions. Whether you're good or bad in this world, you're going to get a body. We have to do activities that give us no material body. We are getting the mysteries of the universe now are raining on us, Kostuba, in these last 5 verses.
Totally.
Don't put up the umbrella, put out your hands, rip your shirt off, and say, thank you, Lord. Thank you. Drench yourself in these last 5 verses here. Reread them again. Be it sinful or pious, karma has its resultant actions. If a person is engaged in any kind of karma, his mind is called karmatmaka, colored with fruitive activities, right? Which exist in the world of hoping. I hope, and this is going to happen, and this is going to get better. No, man.
A mind that is karmatmaka
Yeah.
can't focus in meditation, right? It's got its meditation. It's getting pulled in that direction, and it's a victim. It's a slave, right?
Yep. All right. Therefore, I think it not be fitting an intelligent man or woman to involve himself in activities. Did I skip something, brother?
Where are you reading from?
I tend to scroll all over. Oh, I'm sorry. As long as the mind is impure, consciousness is unclear. Yep. And as long as one is absorbed in fruitive activity, they have to accept a material body.
No choice. You asked for it.
Yep. You know what pisses me off and I love, Kostuba?
Tell me.
I get pissed off. Like, I got to do the podcast every day. I got to do it every day. I was like, sometimes I'm like, I want a day off. I want a day off. And you know what? I got to do it every day. And it's in that doing it every day that there's accountability that I have to hear the Bhagavatam every day. And that is changing my consciousness.
It's very important. It's getting you through tough times,
restrictions make me angry, right? But, you know, if you don't have that fence up, the dog just wanders away. Sometimes the dog, I have a dog deep inside me that just wants to wander away from God and live in sense gratification. So this Bhagavatam, and so maybe you're not hosting maybe you're not the host of the Wisdom of the Sages, but showing up for it on a regular basis keeps you closer to Krishna. Showing up for the Bhagavatam on a regular basis keeps you closer to Krishna. Big shout out to Silas, who gave me a birthday present of Spotify. What's it called? Spotify Deluxe or whatever it is. I just listen to Radhanath Swami all the time. Whenever there's downtime, Radhanath Swami is just playing in my pocket. You can just hear great lectures all the time. You're safe. You're safe. You're connected. No more downtime for the mind.
I still want to get, Vaishesh Prabhu gave a gift to Chapu when she was in New York. This little red Prabhupada box. It's like
it
this
just has a
box.
chanting. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
No. It's got every lecture Prabhupada ever gave.
Oh, really?
Right in that little box. Yeah.
Prabhupada lectures are great to listen to.
There's
if you can get
power
past the accent, which at first I couldn't get past the dialect, but now I can, especially if you know a lot of the verses, because he quotes verses a lot.
Sure.
But they're so nice to listen to.
Yeah, I got to get one. It's called Shravana Box, hearing box.
Michelle says Krishna book is on Spotify too. Also, Dravida has Krishna Karnamrita, Nishringadev. See, what we're doing is we're taking technology and just extracting the 1% that we can use to liberate us.
You know what else is available, Raghunath?
Vishnu Sahasranam, 1,000 names of Vishnu.
There's a recording out there that you can listen to that's Srila Prabhupada speaking into the dictaphone, the Krishna book.
Ooh.
It keeps going.
That's amazing.
Like that. Yeah, but you can hear him actually translating, and that's more than a simple translation. It's a translation and a bit of a transformation of the 10th canto Srimad Bhagavatam of all Krishna's Leelas.
Ooh, send me that link, sir.
I'll find that. I'll find that for you.
That'd be really cool to hear.
Yeah.
All right, continuing on. And the last line was really nice. As long as the mind is impure, consciousness is unclear. And as long as one is absorbed in fruitive activity, they have to accept the material body. Text 6. When the living entity, that's the soul, is covered by the mode of ignorance, they do not understand the individual living being and the supreme living being. And his mind is subjugated by fruitive activities. Fruitive activity means you want to do some work where you're going to get something. Therefore, until one has
material
love
desires,
for, until one has love for Lord Vasudeva, who is none other than myself, he is certainly not delivered from having to accept a material body again and again. This is how it works. It's hard to see it from our vantage point, isn't it? Because all I know is Raghunath. Well, sure, in this body, I've been Ray Capo, Raghunath Das. I've been dad. I've been a son, a husband. We've had some identities in this life, but all I know is really this life. But if all this stuff, because a lot of stuff makes sense here, but there's a lot of stuff sort of like beyond the curtain that I can't perceive right now. If all this stuff is true, there's billions, literally billions of different shapes and forms and species that this soul has ridden around in. Different vehicles. I've gotten in and out. Just like you're getting in a parking lot, you get in one car, you get out, get another car. Get in that car, get out, get another car. And you keep on trading in cars like that. This is, according to the Vedas, this is what we're all going through. Due to desires, we're getting into a giant 18-wheeler. We're getting to a ice cream truck. We're getting into a Porsche. We're getting into like a jalopy. We're getting into like a 3-wheeler. It's just like one vehicle after another. And sometimes the vehicle is powerful and strong, and people say, hey, you're cool. And some people are like, this is a mess. What a hunk of junk. And this is what we're going through in this lifetime. Just the ups and downs of whatever this vehicle's karma is. Hey, sometimes you get a beautiful car, but it's a lemon and it breaks down. So some people, we have these beautiful bodies. We have some great karma, but we're disturbed in the mind. Sometimes it's the other way around. You get a body that doesn't work, is not so beautiful, but you have deep intellect. You have deep spiritual calling. So these are all just changing bodies on a regular basis. We see it in this lifetime, but if all this stuff is true, Kastuba, this is what the treasure chest of the universe is dropping gold coins on us right now. It's saying, careful, careful. Here's a lesson to my kids. Careful out there. You're just going to work and you're just going to get other bodies. Or you can take this magic pill and go through the gateway, this mukta dwar, this doorway to liberation. It's quite simple. Here's what you do. Your mind can no longer be your master. Now your intelligence, fueled by wisdom, fueled by spiritual knowledge, that will now direct your that will direct your mind from now on. That will direct your senses anymore. Otherwise, we've been just following around our lower passions, follow around our you-know-what.
That's what the yogi is, right? I'm no longer going to be controlled like this. I want to be free. And here it's saying that is, we can understand that is, we take on the material body and the material mindsets again and again and again. Until what point? Until we evolve up to the point of pure love. Right?
That's the home run there. That's the game winner. Yeah. That makes sense to me. When you have
Perfect
pure
sense.
love, when you see everybody as equal, when you have that samadhi consciousness, that sameness, you won the game.
When you're no longer thinking it's all about me. Right.
Yeah, that's when you bring the
grow
trophy
up.
home.
Yeah.
It makes sense. And I'm open. If someone's got something higher than that, I'm with you. You could take me with you, but I don't think there's anything higher than love. That's my personal, that's where I stand right now at 57 years old in this game. Someone offers me something better. There's other cool things out there. I want to be able to levitate. Would be cool. Make things appear from my hand. Would be nice. That would be cool. Shapeshift. Would like that. I wouldn't turn that down if it was offered. Is it the highest thing? No, I think love's higher. Mara, you got a takeaway for us today? Bring in Mara.
I got some good stuff.
Shapeshift, Mara.
Mahatmas see the good and fan it.
We love you just the way you are. Don't go changing.
Rogan, you've been doing great all show, but just
try to please me. Don't change the color of your hair. Mm-hmm.
Let service to great souls be your austerity.
There you go, your penance, yeah.
Billy Joel.
We got to get you a little closer to the mic, Mara.
Lock the dark door of porn.
Lock
the dark door of porn.
The excitement of desire robs us of peace.
The excitement of desire.
Dovetail your propensity to be part of something bigger.
This is at the doves fly.
The best
they
thing
cry,
we can do is
not fly.
the best thing we can do is keep the kirtan going.
There you go. Yeah, just leave it right there, Raghunath.
Okay, we'll leave it there.
Ignorance is not bliss.
Not by a long shot.
Until we have pure love, we're just test driving different vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
And get back in the water.
Get back in the water, fishy. That's pretty good.
Like that.
That's it. That seemed like it went sort of quick. The whole porn thing can really take me down a road.
Well, thanks, Rogan. I had a bad connection, and you kind of like carried the ball today. You did a great job. I was enjoying just sitting back and listening to you.
Oh, thank you, man. Well, I miss you here. I miss you here, Kastuba, but it's like hanging out with you. You're gonna have a great time in Mayapur. You know where we're heading
And one day
next.
with Padmanabha Swami.
Oh yeah, I want the feedback. Wait, you're gonna do the but you're doing the show though tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I'll do it in a hotel there. I'll be fine. Darshan will be in the morning. Oh, actually, no, it's not tomorrow. It's the next day that I go.
What?
So tomorrow, tomorrow I go on Thursday. Today's Tuesday, right?
Yeah. Okay. It feels like I moved to Goa, but I know you're right. I never have this type of downtime. Like, okay, let's chant more japa. But me and Mara are doing good with our health app, by the way.
We're doing well with our health diet too.
Yeah, my health diet has been stellar, Kastuba. You'd be proud of me. After getting my lousy results back from my blood panel, I've changed the way I live.
You're looking good.
Thank you, my friends. Thank you. Wait till I shave. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. And happy birthday, Gita Priya. That's Kastuba's wife.
I'm watching her right now. I'll see if you can see this. She is sitting on the, I don't know if you can see her there because it's brightened out, but she's sitting on the bank of the cliff overlooking the ocean and the sunset right now.